Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
On Saturday, February 22nd at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, it's the Pro Volleyball Federation's first All-Star match. The league's biggest stars will clash in a can't-miss event hosted in the Indy metro area, home of the Indy Ignite. Catch every serve, spike, and save live on CBS. Don't miss this historic showdown of volleyball's finest. The Pro Volleyball Federation All-Star Match on February 22nd at 1:30 p.m. Be there.
Deciding on what to listen to is hard. Using Zumo to stream music from iHeart 90s radio is easy. Or play iHeart Country or Hip Hop Beats. Your choice, all for free. Stream easy with Zumo Play. Get live and on-demand entertainment with no logins, no signups, no accounts, no hassle. This February, stay in and watch Glory starring Denzel Washington and Matthew Broderick, or the rom-com Breaking All the Rules with Jamie Foxx and Gabrielle Union. All streaming free on Zumo Play. Go to play.zumo.com now. Life is hard. Zumo is easy.
Hey, oh, hey, E.
9 to noon.
Let's chat with Parker Fox. He has main man cred. Golden Gophers basketball player by day and a homie who howls by night. It is at Parker Fox 24 via the tweet machine. And here's the man who puts power and power forward in the 651 Carpets Plus studios, joining Maxwell Fuller, the producer, and yours truly. Are you bringing sunscreen to SoCal for the USC and UCLA games, Mr. Fox?
Well, good morning, PA. I should probably be asking you that. What is the weather like this time of year? Do I need sunscreen? Do I just need some shades, a little ball cap? What's going on? What am I in store for down in LA?
Well, this is the assumption you'll be there 4.5 days.
Yes.
Okay, so you're here just looking at you got a game against USC Saturday,
yep,
then one against UCLA on Tuesday. So the assumption is you'll be leaving on Friday?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me ask, let me make it turn about as fair play.
All right.
Would you consider yourself to be a pasty Minnesotan?
Yeah, it's that time of year where we turn into a little pastiness is going on. Okay. That's for sure.
Is Southern California pretty much known for year-round 70s or higher, and blue skies for today, and it can be a little warm?
Yeah, that sounds about right. It sounds like a myth to me living here, right, and coming in today at 0-degree weather. So 70 and sunny sounds like something that's not even real. But
Box,
we're excited.
There's the answer. Bring sunscreen. If you and see, you have to think about different things than some others.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you're 29 years of age. You're in your 8th year like Evan Eschmeyer. All the schooling is done, and you're starting to, as the kids would say, low-key, think about what's next, while mastering what is right in front of you now. So it's like, do some players on a trip like this, do they have to mash on schoolwork the 4.5 days in SoCal? Because that's why I brought it up to you, because you don't. Mm-hmm. So therefore, you might be able to do some different things, walk around, get to beaches and stuff. That's why I don't want my man to get sunburned.
Yeah, no, that's definitely in the plans. Yeah, we got guys that are kind of all over the spectrum. We have an older group, so we have a lot of guys either getting their masters or doing some non-degree seeking stuff. But then we have a lot of undergrad kids who are still, grinding through what comes with undergrad. It's a lot of work, and luckily nowadays everything's on our computer, and it makes it easy. Would have made it tough back in the day, but guys lock in, get their homework done, and then we have a fun group that really is excited. We have one of our walk-ons who's actually from Venice Beach area out there, LA way. So I think he's going to take us around, show us a couple things. But yeah, it'll be nice to just hopefully get the toes in the sand a little bit, maybe see the ocean. But as you're going out there on a business trip and you're trying to get a couple wins. They got some really good teams out there. Obviously, new additions to the Big Ten. So it's 2 new arenas that I've never seen before. 2 new head coaches to play against, Mick Cronin and Eric Musselman, that I've never competed against. So I think it's just an awesome opportunity, especially this time of the year when it's pretty dang cold out there, PA.
I bet I bet as you're landing and or taking off. But let's say landing and the sun's still out, so it's still day. Yeah. It's going to be sad and creepy.
Yeah.
Flying into Southern California, assuming that you can see all the fire related carnage because Pacific Palisades is just to the north of Torrance. Okay. The airport's in Torrance.
Yep.
And, then you go north, you have Pacific Palisades, you go south, you have Venice Beach, El Segundo, that whole area. Manhattan Beach swings all the way around to the other beaches, Long Beach and Newport and Huntington. But when depending on which way you fly in, I guess, if you look to the north, I think what you're going to see is it's going to be creepy and sad, man.
Yeah, and that's your home, so you probably know the exact locations better than I do. But I think like you said, I'll definitely be keeping an eye out. That was obviously a crazy time. I have family up in Northern California, so they weren't obviously affected. But just seeing the kind of the damage and the distraught that happened to LA, to that Palisades area, just kind of looking on social media and kind of seeing the influencers and people that lived in that area, and was absolutely insane to me because we really don't get much of that, up here. We don't really see that. We get the blizzards and all that kind of stuff, but we don't see that rolling smoke and that, that fire happening. And I thought, that was almost, it was mind blowing to me to see that happening. Did that ever happen when you were living in LA?
Yeah, there were wildfires. Yeah. It was more earthquakes when I lived there. There were some nasty ones, and it doesn't jolt you for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like 30 or 45 seconds overall where it's an unbelievable jolt. Stuff's falling off the shelves. Then you think you're cool.
Yeah.
And then there's another one and it's stronger. And then there are little baby tremors. And then that's how that works.
That's scary.
Being close to the San Andreas Fault. You mentioned playing in a couple of arenas at USC. They used to play in the sports arena on the campus of USC where the LA Clippers played. So I think they may play in the same spot or close to it. It's just a new arena. But Tuesday, you play at Basketball Immortality,
Yeah.
We're talking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Jamal Wilkes. Some of the great players for other teams that came into a place known as Pauley Pavilion.
Yeah.
And it's named after Edwin Pauley, a University of California regent who was loaded and funded most of the construction back in the mid-'60s. But think about that, man, kind of like with Williams Arena.
Yeah.
6 decades with the same name. That's just rare with arenas these days.
Yeah, no, it really is. And I think, like you mentioned, it's basketball immortality. You look at even guys.
It's going to be sweet walking out of the tunnel.
It's going to be so cool.
It's going to be the bomb.
And, even guys like, recently that you think about, you go Westbrook, Zach LaVine, Lonzo Ball, some of these guys recently, you go back, you go Kevin Love. Like, these are all guys that I watched, growing up. And then you back up even farther than that. And I talked to my dad, and my mom and dad are coming out as well. And it's like,
sweet.
Who else played there? And my dad can list you off, 15 more guys that I, maybe know, maybe don't know. But it's just like, it's going to be an awesome environment. And UCLA obviously, they're a good team every single year. So they probably have another one of those names on that roster currently. So I think it's going to be not only a cool opportunity to go in there, but, an opportunity where we get a chance to compete against a really good team.
Michigan beat Purdue last night.
Yeah, what a game.
How big of an upset was that?
Yeah, it was a home game for Michigan. Michigan's obviously still really, really solid team in the conference. I think they only have 2 or 3 losses, one of those coming to us at home. Purdue, obviously, top of the league, really good team, a lot of things going on. But I think it just shows you in this league how much home court advantage plays a really, really big key. If you're able to get games at home, if you're able to get fans in the crowd, it makes a difference. I think if you ask any single, guy in the Big Ten, the difference in going on the road and playing somewhere where there's a crowd versus not a crowd. Like when we played at Michigan State and all the students are there surrounding you 60 minutes before the game, and they're chanting your name, they're telling you how horrible you are, they're yelling at me to get a job, this and that, that level of like intensity.
So they put some work in.
Oh, they put a lot of work.
Oh man, get a job, bro. Come on.
You get like one of those those sheets or whatever. They have the sheets that they hand out to all the students of the chants they're going to do. And then there's like the little disses on each one. fun. And it's like, he's 26, doesn't have a job, But, and then you contrast that to when we played at Maryland and, there's no crowd there. So it's like, you got to love it, though.
No crowd. Is it still called Cole Fieldhouse?
Maryland. Oh, Maryland's Xfinity Center.
Okay.
Xfinity Center.
Yeah, because I saw Len Bias, God rest his soul. I mean, some old Buck Williams, old school players at Cole Fieldhouse on the campus of the University of Maryland. And back, when we were back in 4-channel terrorism, when I'm in middle school before relocating to Southern California. And it's like the Sunday night ACC game of the week. Oh, yeah. Man, it was everything. I mean, Michael Jordan, Sam Perkins, James Worthy. Wow. Playing against my Maryland squad. Then you got Duke's got Mike Jaminski and some Jim Spanarkel, who I think might be an analyst for the Sixers now. Wow. Or the Nets. I mean, it was, but that, there's just so many. I'm not old guy, get off my lawn. I like the options we have now. Yeah. And I have a high level of respect for those who created all those options, which happen to be markedly younger than me. But, having lived during that time, when it hit 5, 6, 7 o'clock on Sunday night, and you got the ACC game of the week, and it was Michael Jordan. Oh, yeah. Oh, playing that baby blue. Holy cow. Indiana beat Michigan State. How about that one?
Yeah, that was the one that surprised me the most, I think. And it just goes to show you exactly like I said. I think this league is so talented from top to bottom. You look at a team like Michigan State who had been rolling, especially in their home arena. I don't know if you've ever stepped foot in the Breslin Center, but that place is next level home court advantage. The whole lower bowl is students, so they're right on top of you. Like if you were to reach your hand back behind the bench, you would be grabbing a student in the first row of the student section. So like they are right there. And Indiana to come in, where they're kind of struggling. Mike Woodson announced he's not coming back next season. They're having all this turmoil within the team, and they go in there and get a win. It just shows you sometimes the ball goes in. Sometimes you hit threes and the ball goes in and things go your way. So you got to show up every single night, and that just goes to prove it right there.
So you watched some of that game?
Yeah. I'll always tap in.
And you watched some of Tennessee, Kentucky, right?
I did, yeah.
Okay, so I'm guessing Taylor's still in Halifax?
Yeah, she's still gone. Yeah, she's
still up in Halifax.
The couch is all mine right now. She's actually in Toronto right now, and then they're busing, I think, to whatever Ottawa or Montreal today. They got a 6-hour bus ride. So.
All right, so Tennessee and Kentucky, I found myself really engaged in that game. Yeah. I mean, it's like defense in basketball and college is so much different than the NBA. I mean, you know better than anybody, man. In the NBA, I don't care who you are. If there's something on the line in the final 2 minutes, they all can shut even Steph Curry, they all can shut everybody down whenever they want. They're just that gifted. Oh, yeah. College basketball, it's more of a common thread because one loss can just mess so many things up. Well, Tennessee and Kentucky, and Kentucky doesn't play the greatest defense in the world, but they brought it last night. That's clearly something Mark Pope has been stressing. If we're 15th in the country or whatever, we beat these guys on the road, we match up well with them, but you got to beat teams like this if you want to win a championship. And in Lexington, I mean, they got blue chippers all over the place, man, but quality defense in that one. And Kentucky has a couple of freshmen in Trent Noah and Travis Perry, who are Kentucky natives playing for the Cats, man. I don't know if they got hot last night. And those guys are really good. This Kentucky team could be sneaky if it plays defense, man.
Yeah, I think they could too. I listened to Mark Pope talk about how they had their struggles. They think they lost 4 of their last 6 before going into this game against Tennessee. And obviously Tennessee is a top 5 team in the country, led by Zakai Ziegler. Out of New York. He actually, I was his host when he came and visited here at the University of Minnesota. Yeah, he came on a visit, and I brought him out to the restaurants and all that kind of stuff. Super fast.
They got that Milicic guy or whatever.
Yeah, they got a lot of they got a lot of talent. Igor Milicic.
Milicic, yes.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, that Kentucky team is really talented. And like you mentioned, it's just such a different game, the college game than the pro game. And I think it's so fun because you just get to see the masterminds of coaches, the sets that they put together, and then the stuff defensively that you do. We're going to have a really interesting one at USC. They're a team that does a lot of really weird stuff defensively, led by that head coach Eric Musselman, who, if you've seen him before, he's got a little quirkiness, a little weirdness to him, so he's going to have a lot of different things for us.
Barrero has him on his radio show all the time.
Yeah, he's great.
It's Bill's son, I believe.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Eric's really, really good with bumper to bumper. All right, let's get into the how and some NBA stuff with our main man Parker Fox at Parker Fox 24 via X. And before we do that, we head over to young Maxwell Spot so he can give away some moolah.
The Fan wants to give you a shot to put $1,000 in your hand with our national cash contest. Enter the keyword credit at KFAN.com now for your shot at winning. That's keyword credit. Enter now at KFAN.com.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
Wild Wednesday is sponsored by Jim Beam, the official bourbon of the Minnesota Wild. Are here all season long. Listen every Wednesday through March for your chance to win tickets.
Alrighty, Parker Fox, Golden Gophers basketball at USC Saturday, and at Pauley Pavilion to take on the UCLA Bruins on Tuesday. What are you down to? About 7 now in the regular season?
Yeah, I think about 7 or 8 left. Yeah,
7 or 8.
It's crazy how fast it goes.
Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, it's already what, almost mid-February here. So it's coming down fast. Yeah, obviously this year a little different in the Big Ten tournament. In the past, every team would make the Big Ten tournament. Now you gotta be out of the bottom 3. You gotta be top 15 to make the Big Ten tournament. And I think we're in Chicago this year for the Big Ten tournament, if I'm not mistaken.
So NCAA tournament, NI, NIT, CI, CFB, or
CBI.
Yeah, is there another one?
No, I think that's it. They're probably adding more stuff on nowadays. I think they're trying to make the NIT a little tougher. They used to, take a lot of mid-majors and that kind of stuff. And I think now the NIT is focused on taking those Power 5 teams that didn't quite make the NCAA tournament, some of those bubble teams that kind of got bounced and put them in the NIT. But
you want a tournament of any type.
Oh, I mean, of
CBI
course.
or whatever.
Yeah, of course.
You want that simply because you can, and I'm not being sarcastic here, you can see the finish line.
Oh, yeah.
And transition, it's no matter how set up you are for it, financially, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, it's still transition, and it can be formidable.
And I've played basketball for 22 years. I started playing team basketball when I was 4 years old, so it's like, how do you just stop that? When it comes to an end, how is it just stop? And who knows, what's to say if I, don't play professional or what it may be, but just the fact that you can see that there's a finish line that kind of, is there, it's somewhere. So I think, you just want to keep playing. And I 100%. Think when you're in it, and your body is still feeling good, and you're having the opportunity to play with teammates and play organized things with referees and with fans, and it's like there's nothing better. There's really not. So I think just kind of holding that and being where your feet are with that is super special.
You're awesome, man. Hey, when you go to dunking down the key, are there analytics or like measuring apparatus that measures vertical? Because you had a dunk against the Fighting Illini, if you need to say that anymore, against Illinois, against the old Illini. They're called the Illini, right?
Yeah, they still are.
They're still called that.
We eliminate the fighting part?
They fight hard, I guess. Fought hard against us.
Well, they come up here going, hail to the Illini. But anyway, Max and I were chatting yesterday, previewing you coming in here.
Yeah.
And outside of talking about avoiding the undoubtable low-key nature of segments being kitty cap, we were talking about kizzy cap. We were talking about a dunk you had against Illinois. I saw it on social media. He saw it live. He said your vertical was 18. 18 inches.
Is that what he said, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
He thinks I just got long arms, huh? No jump, just long arms.
What was your vertical on that dunk down the key?
That's a great
22?
question. That's a great question.
What do you think your vertical is?
I mean,
because like the cliche would be 40-inch vert.
Yeah,
like he had like my man over here, SGA 40-inch vert.
Yeah, in my prime, I hit a 39.5-inch standing vertical.
Damn.
Was my highest.
Did
46 running vert was the highest.
46?
Yeah,
running and jumping.
Yeah.
Bro, that's like the Olympics.
I can show you some videos, PA.
I believe you.
Before these knees got a little banged up, I used to be able to get up there in the air. But we actually do wear these little things called catapults. I don't know if you've ever seen them. You might have seen them with the Vikings. They're almost like a sports bra
during
apparatus.
The games?
Yes, we wear them during the games as well.
I have seen them.
Yeah. So people wear them in this sports bra fashion, but basically it's a chip that goes kind of in your back.
Wow.
And it tracks all your movements, lateral, vertical, horizontal, any movements you're making within a basketball game. How many times you're cutting off your right leg, how many times you're cutting off your left leg, how many times you're going back forward, all that kind of stuff. So all that data gets stored. I'm sure I could ask our strength coach and their interns what those numbers look like.
What do we think Zach Halverson's vertical is?
I always love that one.
I mean, it's gotta be a solid at least 38 up in that. Zacho, he might have
3.8 inches.
No,
Hey, Zacho!
He's an underrated athlete.
Yeah, I think
Zacho's dunking from the free throw line.
Man, he's unbelievable. I watched him play goaltender in like some scrimmage thing with the Wild and stuff. He was stopping everything, man.
They used to call him White Lightning back in the day. You know what they call him now? White.
I always love that one.
Come on, man.
He's just white.
That's pretty good. Glad you said it, too. All right, 3-2. With Howlin' with the homies and the Timberwolves, let me ask you this. And if you got nothing, great. If you got everything, it's radio, man. It's me. Talk as long as you want. How did the news, Mark Lowry and Alex Rodriguez are now majority owners of the Timberwolves? How's it hit you?
I think I'm young in that conversation. So I didn't really get to see the early ages of, the Glenn Taylor days, those dog days. I think it was 14 straight losing seasons, if I'm not mistaken. Only met Glenn a couple times, just through passing. Yep. Obviously, probably doesn't know who I am.
Very nice man.
Yeah, and I always had great interactions with him. But I think fresh blood, new blood, and new energy and new excitement's good. I hate to side on an opinion either way when I don't really have the kind of position to do that. But I think just growing up, and I've met Lowry a couple times, met A-Rod a couple times. Actually, Lowry will use our practice gym to work on his game. I think he's trying to
work on his game,
his basketball game. Yeah,
he just comes to Williams and shoots.
Yeah, he'll have managers, and some of our managers help him out. And I think he has a personal trainer, and he's trying to get better on the court. Which is
so those managers getting greased nightly.
Yeah, little Benjamin, little Blue Bill after
a couple of tickets to a game against the Wizards.
Come in the owner's suite.
Yeah,
whatever it may be.
That's how it has to be, right?
But I think you get new guys like that, and him and A-Rod are obviously names that people know, and I think. As long as, and if I'm not mistaken, now Glenn can still kind of bring this to court, or he can still, there's still some ruffling in the feathers to be done, but for the most part, it's going to be the A-Rod and Mark Lowry show, and I'm excited about it, and I obviously have heard about new stadium builds. Obviously I talk about this with some of my friends about Target Center, and you kind of compare it to different, arenas along the league, and
second oldest arena in the league.
And I've been to a lot now, and it's like you see what they're doing in LA with the Intuit Dome. You see what they did with Pfizer Forum and some of these places, and it's like, Target Center could use something different. And I think they've done a good job, and they've facelifted it, and they've made the concessions really good, and it's a good spot to play. But I think something new is going to be really fresh and exciting, and hopefully we have a championship by then. So we can put one up in that new building. I think they're talking about 2031 as a date that they're looking at. But no, I think just new energy, new excitement, especially with this young Anthony Edwards team is something that I look forward to.
Have you you enjoy doing the fan line show, Howlin' with the homies, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so team's going to make the playoffs. I mean, let's avoid that play-in. All right, so let's avoid that super special play-in, and take it from there. I mean, if they can rattle off a bunch and you get some things to go your way, maybe they can get some home court advantage for Howlin' with the homies. But Max and I were talking about the show yesterday, and I like because I asked him, what do you like about that show? Like, how would you describe Howlin' with the Homies? And it was cool that he described it as a vibe, a jam, a banger. It's like, listen, remembering the shows from last year, what I liked is if somebody would spew lies, young Maxwell quickly would let them know what they shared was cap, if not kizzy cap.
It again, Max.
Seriously, honestly, no matter the drip, no matter the Riz, young Maxwell wasn't trying to hear it. Max and our in-studio guest Parker, they don't care about the drip. They just want the team to smack, even if it's low-key. They don't need extra, even low-key extra. And they're not in it for the tea, the gossip. And they realize that there are games like they had against the Cavs. They just like to, yeet out the window. So our Howlin' with the Homies are in it for the how to unfurl a fat flex. Maybe tonight against the Milwaukee Bucks, don't you think?
I need to know, before we get into that.
It's amazing that you had the full quote. You got every single last word that I said. I mean, that's verbatim what came out of my mouth yesterday.
Correct. It's Chat GPT. I transcribed it.
Max,
and it transcribed beautifully.
What percent of what he's saying do you think he actually is like processing and understanding?
I don't know Cap. Cap's lying, I think.
Cap is lying.
But I don't get the kizzy part of the Cap. So, like,
it's just a little flair, I guess.
I just told a lie. Okay, I lied. A lie is a lie.
It's just like if you're going down the lane and you could lay it up, but instead you go between the legs and flush it home.
Yeah, it's a little flair,
So,
English.
If I say Max described your dunking vertical against Illinois as 18, well, that's Cap. I lied.
Yeah, that's Cap.
But if you say it's over 30, that's kizzy Cap.
I always love that.
Now you're like amplifying the lie. Is that right?
That's pretty close.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's right.
Right there. With Howlin' with the Homies, eventually Max was like, bro, this team's fire. This boy's fire. They're hoping for the blaze without the glaze.
There's no chance you know a glaze.
Yeah, what is glaze?
That's like when you give it a little too much credit. Like a lot of NFL fans say Chris Collinsworth glazes Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, I'm not talking about ham glazing here. What are we talking about?
It's like Krispy Kreme glazing the donut,
Overly effusive praise?
Yes.
Would be one way to put it.
Yeah.
So, do you guys believe the Timberwolves and the playoffs potentially can be straight fire?
I do.
Yeah. Don't you, Max?
Can it be? Not making it as fire. Advancing,
it's going to be
straight fire.
It's going to be really tough.
I want to say the word. It makes it better, but you can't.
Straight fire.
No, the straight fire.
Oh, yeah. Don't we know, brother?
Okay.
Don't we know?
So,
no, I think they
I'm not
can.
trying to be emo up in here, but go ahead.
No, I think they can. And they've had, they have a couple injuries right now with, DiVincenzo and Randall and, a couple other pieces. And
been a little bit of a silver lining, though, don't you think, Parker?
I think it has. It's given some of these new guys just an opportunity to step in. And we've seen this kind of surgence here from Jalen Clark. Obviously on the defensive end, he's his former Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. But his ability to shoot the corner three has been, huge for the Timberwolves offense. You add a guy like Terrence Shannon, who's been able to come into a couple different games. And, he's a guy that I played against last year. And you could just see his athleticism, his strength, his size was at an NBA level at that point. Shooting the ball too, getting to the rim, dunking over guys. And then, Josh Minot and some of these younger guys, even add Rob Dillingham with the Conley injury. Just being able to, you gotta be thrown in the fire a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
You gotta go out there and you gotta play against Kyrie. You gotta go out there and you gotta play against Luka Doncic because you are going to have to do that down the stretch. You can't hide against, all-stars. You can't hide against future Hall of Famers. You're going to be the guy in the action. So throw yourself in there now and kind of, soak in that fire, and hopefully it ends up all right for you.
And don't you think, like armchair psychologist just watching the game, doesn't it seem like Randall is in a better place emotionally, just watching him cheering from the bench? It seems like...
What are you saying here?
I'm not saying he should come off the bench.
Just quit?
That's a conversation to be had.
You're making it sound like you should just quit, stay on the bench, because that's your emotional happy spot.
No, that's not necessarily what I'm saying. It feels like he had a chance to settle down a little bit. He got here like 2-3 days before the season started. Obviously, we saw some body language issues with him and other players while he was on the court. But it seems like ever since this injury's happened, he's all smiles. He's taken kind of that Dashi Nix role where he's all NBA high five. He's the first guy to come off the bench and dap somebody up. And so he seems like he's emotionally in a better place for when he comes back and mentally in a better place for when he comes back. But that's just me watching the TV. I don't know him personally.
No, but like the Dillingham, you guys mentioned Dillingham. Yeah, I think he just turned 20. Okay, so he's 19 or 20. It's one of the two. Yeah. And he's a polarizing player, and he's going to draw the ire of the fan base when he doesn't play as much as they want him to play, specifically when Conley's out. And Alexander Walker will slide over and play some point. Why? Because he's more responsible. And this is with all due respect. I mean, it's Dillingham. When you watch him in open court dribbling that basketball, yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable.
Magic, yeah.
Right. I mean, I'm not best ever or worst ever kind of guy, but I mean, there aren't many you're ever going to see as fast and twitchy with the right and the left with him.
It's AI-esque.
I like that comparison. Now, polarizing on the other side. I mean, I know Max watched Monday. He had a super special watch party during a game they're down 16-0.
Yeah, fun time.
Wondering when Luka's debut starts for the Lakers at the drink
field goals in the first half.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, what a party.
Did you
first
watch
quarter?
Any?
Yeah, I watched the first quarter. I turned it off. 2 field goals in the first quarter. I was like, I'm not watching this.
Second half. I mean, Dillingham just stopped and threw it right to a calf. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I mean, just right to him. And I think it might have been Donovan Mitchell. So I'm like, wow, man. I mean, it's like freak out factor for those of the younger variety at that level against a team that might go to the championship. That's got to be tough, right?
Yeah, that Cavs team is really good. But like we said, you gotta be in those moments, because how do you learn from it? Yeah. You learn through the failure, you learn through the mistakes. And I think these young guys being put in this position, I think is going to be good in the long run. And you talk about a guy like Julius Randle, and I love your assessment, Max, because it's true. Like body language and that energy that you put off is so huge. And it's like any guy could just go sit down at the end of the bench, and he's missed 4 straight games now, and just sit there and wear his chains and put sunglasses on and be, hey, I'm the guy that got paid all this money. Look at me.
But get back to his East Coast house or whatever. Get his stuff here.
Yep.
I mean, just little particular things that people may think are dumb. But I mean, it's somebody's life, and it's a shocker when you're moved like that. Specifically, this is not denigrating where we live. Yeah, you guys are from here, but I've been here since '98. I love it here. I wouldn't live anywhere else.
Yeah.
But New York City's the concrete jungle, man, and you're in the NBA playing at Madison Square Garden. Now you're coming to the cornfields.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you got Anthony Edwards, but still, it's different. And the mindsets of these guys are different than most people. So that could be a shocker. But I like what you said, Max, because settling down, the demeanor part of it, it's not like he's been completely stoic and quiet and weird on the court all the time. But he has, you don't have to be Patrick Beverley, okay, to really make it feel like, hey, you really like it here. You really belong here.
Right.
But I have, like you, seen him blossom, with this group, during wins and even during losses, bringing people come back to the bench, talking to him and stuff. That's a really good observation.
I appreciate it, PA. And yeah, I think it's almost weird because he's also, it seems like he's endearing himself to Wolves fans more.
It's
during this injury because of the body language. Yeah. We can deal with the inconsistent play here and there sometimes, but obviously, I mean, his game was coming around when he was healthy in the month of January. But I think mostly at Minnesota, especially for this Timberwolves team, we as Minnesotans always want to see people that want to be here. We want to see people that try really hard. We have this Minnesota inferiority complex, so we want to know that we're wanted. And it seems like Julius Randle is not just accepting his role and accepting his lot in life that he's here, but also embracing it and starting to have fun and not necessarily have everything just be weighing on his shoulders like it seemed to be when he was coming here originally.
Parker first, Max second. How far can Luka and LeBron drag the Lakers?
Whew, that's a loaded one, because I think if you look at what LeBron's doing right now, just the level that he's playing at, I would say LeBron himself can drag the Lakers a lot of places. Yep. And you add a future Hall of Famer like Luka Doncic to that roster. They're currently fourth in the West at 32 and 19.
The Lakers are 32 and 19.
Lakers are 32 and 19. Yeah,
Damn.
And they won 6 straight, by the way.
Rolling Gabe Vincent and Cam Reddish out there for like half the season before trade.
9-1 in their last 10 games, won 6 straight.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I think you understand, but I don't know if the casual listener understands who Luka Doncic really is. Like Luka Doncic is the premier.
Yeah.
He's the premier NBA player.
Yeah.
So you add him.
He embarrassed himself in the NBA Finals. I'm sorry to put it that way. He did. I mean, it's like he stopped playing defense when he knew they couldn't win, and even when he was trying to man up to somebody, get over picks under just the recognition you guys have to have, D1 players or NBA players. We've gone over this the entire week, Parker. The percentages, if you go under the pick on this guy, he hits 70% from 3. If you get over the pick, it dramatically increases because we got to switch or something like that. It's almost like he doesn't care about that.
And that's a trust factor thing, too. That's trusting your coaches. That's trusting the guys behind you, because if you go over the pick, your team's going to be at a disadvantage for a little bit. But you got to trust the guys behind you that they're going to make the play, because once you go under, you're not trusting anybody. You're just relying on hopefully this guy misses.
Great point.
You can't win NBA games. You can't win championships hoping people miss.
And it's easier to do that, too.
It's so much easier.
I got one for you, Max, before we pause. And both of you guys, howling with the homies, though. How about this whole Dallas disaster? It got worse yesterday. New majority owner is getting booed. Okay. General manager doesn't sit in his regular seat for home games. Anthony Davis is out for weeks. We know all that. I didn't know this. Now center Daniel Gafford is down for a spell. Like we're going to, it's the reevaluate in a couple of weeks trick. They're already without Derek Lively. Luka leaves and left like a slice of hell with these Dallas Mavericks. What do the homies think about the Mavs?
Yeah, this is like the new curse of the Bambino. Like Luka leaves town and everything just immediately starts collapsing. And I think that's just kind of, it's almost like instant cosmic kismet. It's like you shouldn't have made this trade under the cover of darkness, to borrow a phrase from UPA, like you did. If you were going to do the deal, you should have did Luka right. He was the face of your franchise for years. He dragged that franchise to the NBA Finals when they really honestly had no business being in the NBA Finals last year. We saw that when they actually matched up against the best of the best. They weren't even in the same league as the Boston Celtics. So you should have did him right. You should have let him know. You should have did the trade process the right way, even if things weren't working out between him and the organization. And like we talked about yesterday, they got the full Anthony Davis experience all in 3 quarters. I mean, the guy looked amazing. He looks like one of the best NBA players that you've ever seen. And then he gets hurt, and then he's out for months. And then you're left to figure out what you're going to do while he's out again. So I think they just completely blew up their franchise. They disenfranchised their fans that are some of the most passionate fans in the NBA. And they basically just shot themselves in the foot so many times they don't have toes left, and now they're falling over on their face. And that's just kind of where they deserve to be right now, because of that one single move set the franchise back, I would say, at least 5, 6, 7 years, if not a decade. Luka, like Parker said, he's the premier NBA player. That's the face of your franchise. That's already, if he retired today, talent-wise, an all-time great, and you let him go for a guy that has never been healthy in his career consistently. It's unbelievable, and I can't wait to know what actually happened. When there's a 30 for 30 someday at a documentary, the last days of Doncic coming up next on ESPN 30
That's
for 30.
more like a 15 for 15. Got about 15 minutes of quality content there. With all due respect to the men, the Mavericks Entertainment Network. You know what's happening right now, 9 to noon at KFAN? We are howling with the homies.
Yes, sir.
Max Fuller and Parker Fox. Final segment with said duo next.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Don't miss is out. One OK Rock is storming the Armory with their high voltage performance. Be there for an epic night of rock on June 7th with special guest Stand Atlantic. Check out our contest page to see how you can win your way in. That's KFAN.com, keyword contest to enter today.
All righty, you homies.
This show is naughty and might make you a potty mouse.
What happened? We got a new buzzer. Cool.
Buzzed out.
Okay, let's see.
That's right.
Oh, so we just basically took everything from Corey's initials game.
We took one from the password game, and we took one from the initials game.
Okay. It ain't Kim. I put some NBA related trivia questions together for the homies duo, just to percolate the mind and iron sharpening iron here as the NBA goes, because we got we're in the second half of the season, got the All-Star break right now. The homies will have fan line shows. The Wolves will be in the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
We're trying to avoid that super special play-in. Home court would be great. A run to the Western Conference finals would be elite. But we will have shows, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Howling with the homies, right?
Yes, sir.
No doubt about it.
Cool. You can have your name be your buzzer, or you can just blurt it out.
Oh, we're competing against each other.
I mean, we don't have to.
Roll your sleeves up, brother.
Let's go.
6, 7, 8,
Get to
9.
work.
Let's get grimy.
Okay, I got 9 of them here, and Wes Wall's in the on-deck circle, so here we go, 3-2. Who coaches... Hold on.
We've waited 9 long years for a Super Bowl. Skol Vikings!
9? Girls, and you think that's long? Hey, good baby girls. Okay, I got it ready. All right, here we go. Name is buzzer. Ready?
Yes, sir.
Who coaches the OKC Thunder?
Max?
Yeah.
Is that Dagenalt?
That's right.
Mark Dagenalt.
Oh, let's go.
Right.
Mark, is it Dag or Dag?
Mark Dagenalt.
Dagenalt.
Yeah,
Got it.
and they love him. He came up from the G League, and
He's the bomb.
Oh, they love.
Yeah,
he's great,
invested
man.
a lot into him.
Finch didn't do it this time, but the Finch replays around the corner had him on to start the show.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he might be Finch's favorite coach in the league.
Oh, I'm sure.
Or Mike Malone's up there too, but yeah, he says really good things about the guy, and the guy has a good team. All right, but I mean, OKC. Just trip out on OKC. They're like number 1 in fewest turnovers. They take the ball from the adversary more than anybody. They're right up there with threes. Everything you need to do well to win this day and age, they do well.
And now they have 2 healthy 7-footers.
Right.
And they also have about 5,000 first-round picks over the next 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
They do?
They have, I'm not joking, it's something like 10, 11, 12 first-round picks over the next 4 or 5 years. I'm not joking.
Yeah. Well, remember, SGA did not come into the league with OKC. It was Clippers, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Who in the hell trades him and why? How does he get traded?
That's actually, I wonder what
That's a good question.
Damn. All right, no, don't look it up, Parker.
All right,
okay, because you got to pay attention here. You're down 1-0. Okay, here we go. Who leads the NBA in points per game at 32.1?
Max.
Go ahead, Max.
I think it's the aforementioned SGA.
Yeah,
That's right.
You're right.
Well, you're ready to howl like a homie, aren't you?
You know I am, baby.
This guy is top 4 or better in points per game, rebounds, and assists. Top 4 in the league or better in all those categories: points, rebounds, and assists.
Max.
Go ahead.
It's got to be Jokic.
That's right.
Wow, Max is hot.
Parker's in season.
I've been watching too much college
Exactly.
basketball.
He's locked in on the college game, you know?
He's the history of Pauley Pavilion and Cameron Indoor and Breslin.
So
and
he's got me there. He's got me there.
I gotta get the league pass back up and dust it
I'll
off.
send you
All right.
send you a bootleg link.
Anthony Edwards leads the NBA in three-pointers made with 220. Which former Timberwolf is second with 212?
Oh, I heard this one earlier, so I can't answer.
I know. Initials MB.
Malik Beasley.
That's right.
Hey! Bonus. For whom does he play?
Detroit Pistons.
That's right.
Hey! Detroit basketball.
It's so good to see them at least being decent.
Oh,
again,
so fun.
man.
Former Gopher Eric Curry, former
Yes.
teammate of mine, player development coach for the Pistons.
Is he?
Loves it there.
JB Bickerstaff, former
JB
Gopher.
Bickerstaff,
former
Gopher.
weekly guest PA in Dubé 9 to noon for like 2 or 3 years when he was
true.
here.
Oh, really? That's true. Yeah.
JB's the bomb.
Oh, he's the bomb. One
That's
of Ben
awesome.
Johnson's best friends as well. So.
Yeah, I still have his number from back in the day, and I do know it's his number because when the Vikings were set to lose, play to the Lions in that regular season finale, yours truly and 3 others went to Wolves Pistons, and I sent him a text, left me on red.
Oh, damn.
Right on red. Just right there on red. Hey, I got passes and everything.
Blue text went through.
That's okay. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Let me get this. Let me fly through this here. This team leads the NBA in rebounding at 48 per game.
Ooh. Max?
You hear Parker over there typing, trying to win. You're cheating.
There's no
go ahead, Max.
Is it Cleveland? Oh,
Let's go.
Western Conference team.
Let's go Parker with Thunder because rebounding wins championships
You
in a way.
played against one of their bigs within the last year.
Oh, gosh.
Memphis.
That's right.
Zach Edey. There you go.
Zach Edey, though, Memphis.
That was my second guess.
48 rebounds a game. Who won the first NBA All-Star Game dunk contest? 1977.
Oh, goodness gracious.
First?
Yeah,
Dr. J?
No, Darnell Hillman.
I should have known.
Type in Darnell Hillman.
All right.
And then hit images. And that's one of my two. See, he calls himself Froby Bryan and Humphrey Frogart.
Oh, there he is.
I call him Darnell Hillman.
Maxo, here you are.
Right, with the hair, right?
It does look like
Dr. Dunk was his nickname, Darnell Hillman.
Maxo's arm in the rim here. This is sweet.
Oh, Darnell Hillman could dunk.
That's a fro.
Okay.
Should have known that one.
Who has made the most three-pointers in NBA history?
Parker, Steph Curry.
That's right. Damn. Almost 4,000. And by the way, he's held the record since 2021.
Yeah, it's insane.
I love Steph Curry. I always have.
And I think James Harden is second now.
Is he?
I think you're right. He did climb up there and pass Reggie.
I think he passed this year.
Multiple choice. We have 2 more, and Wes Walls in the on-deck circle. Multiple choice. Who's the greatest thief in the history of the league?
Max?
No, wait. You don't want the multiple choice?
You were going right to the glove, weren't you?
I was going to go for
Jason
the glove.
Kidd, Michael Jordan, John Stockton, or Duty E.B.
It's got. I mean, damn. My option wasn't even in there.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I was going to go with the glove
Jason
as well.
Kidd.
3, 2,
Stockton.
That's right. Stockton.
Oh.
Correct. Greatest thief ever. Finally, what about blocks? Kareem Abdul in the history of the league. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Mark Eaton, Hakeem Olajuwon, or Ricky Davis?
Kareem?
Yeah, I was going to go. I was going to go Olajuwon, but
That's right. Hey, you're ready. Ready to howl with the homies?
Yeah,
right there, the
baby.
finger wave, baby. The finger wave.
Well, yeah, Dikembe Mutombo, I think, is second.
Oh, yeah.
For old finger wave. God bless you, brother. Safe travels. Tell Taylor, yours truly says hello.
Yes, I
Might
will.
even be listening right now.
She is.
She's the best. Taylor, you're salt of the earth. Can't wait to see you and or your Frost when you get back. Safe travels, all right?
Love you both. Love you both.
Love you too, man.
Love you, dog.
Wes Walls on many things hockey-related around the corner. You're listening to KFAN.
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
On Saturday, February 22nd at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, it's the Pro Volleyball Federation's first All-Star match. The league's biggest stars will clash in a can't-miss event hosted in the Indy metro area, home of the Indy Ignite. Catch every serve, spike, and save live on CBS. Don't miss this historic showdown of volleyball's finest. The Pro Volleyball Federation All-Star Match on February 22nd at 1:30 p.m. Be there.
Deciding on what to listen to is hard. Using Zumo to stream music from iHeart 90s Radio is easy. Or play iHeart Country or Hip Hop Beats. Your choice, all for free. Stream easy with Xumo Play. Get live and on-demand entertainment with no logins, no signups, no accounts, no hassle. This February, stay in and watch Glory starring Denzel Washington and Matthew Broderick, or the rom-com Breaking All the Rules with Jamie Foxx and Gabrielle Union. All streaming free on Xumo Play. Go to play.xumo.com now. Life is hard. Xumo is easy.